welcome to the second night of the 80th Rotary Carol Festival. I'm Sabine Ahmed and I'm so pleased to be here tonight to assist the Rotary Clubs of Regina in presenting the Festival of Music, which has been running annually for 80 years. Now, as you can tell, this year the festival looks a little different in that it's not possible for us to gather at Knox Metropolitan United Church as we have done for 79 years to present a live festival. Not to be deterred by a worldwide pandemic, the Rotary Clubs of Regina wish to soldier on, and with the tremendous support of our production partners at Access Communication on Access Now Channel 7, we are so pleased to present a festival that looks back on choir performances from previous years, as well as some exciting virtual performances by special guests. And let's be honest, you're all joining me from home tonight in the comforts of your home with your favorite holiday treats and your sweatpants, so there's a bonus. Just so you know, I have not seen all the performances that I am introducing tonight, but Rotarians who put the program together tonight have given me some helpful notes to help introduce each performance. Now, this is a challenging year for a number of reasons, and this year, more than ever, our charity partners need the support. This year, donations made to the Carol Festival will support the Salvation Army and their various programs to help people at Christmas time, and the Rotary Community Fund also supporting worthwhile programs in our community. We have socially distant friends joining me in studio. Rotarians are standing by in the studio to take your telephone donations via Visa or MasterCard. You can call 306-559-6606, or you can also donate online at reginarotary.org. Costs of producing this festival are covered by sponsorship, so every dollar raised from this Carol Festival will go to our charity partners. Now, along with some very nice choir performances tonight, we have a very special presentation by Regina entertainer Rory Allen, who I personally am quite excited to see, and also want to thank Rory for contributing to our program this year. Before we start into the performances, we wanted to share a bit of the history about our festival, which was recorded by some very accomplished Rotarians.
80 years ago, we were in times similar to what we're facing now, in terms of it was the dark days of World War II, 1941. At that time, the outcome of the war was still largely in question. Many Saskatchewan, many Regina young people had gone off to fight in the war. Reverend Len Outerbridge, who at that point was at Knox Metropolitan United Church, hit upon the idea of having a Carol Festival that would serve two purposes. One, it would help to lift the spirits of the community by profiling a lot of the wonderful choral music from children's choirs in the city, but it was also an opportunity to raise funds for families and fellow citizens who were in graver need than other citizens in the community at that time.
I remember back when I was a lad in grade 2 in 1944, I sang in the Rotary Carol Festival. It was like out of this world. I mean, you can imagine you're about this high and you're up on this stage and your teachers practiced with you and got you, had the group singing. And it was 2 songs that we sang and had you singing and practicing at least a month beforehand. And when the big time come, you're down at the church in the basement there getting ready to go up to the stage.
It really is an opportunity for those choirs to share their gift of music with people. And there are so many people out there that just, look forward to being inspired by hearing the music. People get to share the gift of music. People get to enjoy that gift of music. And then, once again, charities benefit from everything that happens.
The whole church is used for the Carol Festival. We use the sanctuary for the actual performances. The lower level is where the choirs assemble.
There's about 40 volunteers each evening, so that's quite an undertaking. But being the choir marshal, you have all of the choir groups, of course, assemble in the basement. That's the time when you really enjoy observing the younger kids there. They're so excited, ready to perform, many for the first time.
when I became president and chief executive officer of Cable Regina, which is now Access Communications. And all of a sudden I got to thinking one year, it just kind of hit me in the head while I was working at the festival. Why don't we put this on television? We have a community channel.
Actually, the Rotary Club formed a partnership with Cable Regina some 40 years ago. It's virtually impossible to assess the value of this connection.
I think one of the benefits from the Carol Festival is reminding us that there are needy families out there, especially at Christmas time.
The Rotary motto is service above self, and Reverend Outerbridge lived that every day of his life, and he would not want, I'm sure, the focus to be on him as an individual, but rather he would be so inspired.
Christmas was celebrated in dark times throughout the ages, and especially even over the last 80 years. There have been many times where there have been not so happy times, but that Christmas spirit is still alive and well, and having a tradition like sharing the carols of Christmas, really it is that bright light and reminding them that it is a very special time of year.
I think it's really important that we raise as much money we can to assist other people. And this year it's harder for everybody to get around, as we all know. With the COVID situation, even this year, it's likely more important than it has been.
Well, as you just saw, the first Rotary Carol Festival took place in 1941, in the darkest days of World War II. We're going to have a duo, Winsome Kind, take us back a little further than 1941, all the way back to 1932, with their performance of Winter Wonderland. There's no mistaking the chemistry when you hear Saskatchewan's husband and wife duo Winsome Kind. They're infused with personal stories and luxurious harmonies. The songs they craft reflect their continuous creative journey. Their self-titled debut album garnered critical acclaim, and their second album, We Call It Home, is a compelling collection of feel-good songs and heartfelt messages, which reflect their passion and urge for connection in these tumultuous times. Winsome Kind released a new single and lyric video for Earth Day 2019 entitled Contemplation, What Have We Done?, and have donated proceeds to climate action initiatives. They recently moved their little family from Vancouver, BC to Regina, Saskatchewan to embark on a prairie adventure. We are so pleased to have Winsome Kind volunteer to be part of the 80th Carol Festival. They recorded this piece for us, and we hope you enjoy it.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is listening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job
And we have Rotarians standing by on the Charity line at 306-559-6606. Or again, you can go online at reginarotary.org to donate. All donations over $25 will receive a tax receipt. And just a friendly reminder, today is Giving Tuesday. What a perfect day to pick up the phone and help out some of our charities that need it most. Now, again, I want to acknowledge that beautiful performance we just saw, a great duet by Winsome Kind. If you didn't notice, they did record that performance in the church we normally would be in, the Knox Metropolitan Church. If you would like to hear more of Scott and Leora, please take a look at their website, winsomekind.com. Okay. Now let's see if we have any alumni from Jack Mackenzie or St. Gabriel schools listening this evening. I'm going to challenge you all. Are you ready? Next up is the combined Jack Mackenzie and St. Gabriel School Choir. This performance is from 2007, and they performed for many years, and we really appreciate their support of the festival. They are a very large group of 50 members. So if you are a former student, a parent or grandparent of a student from St. Gabriel or Jack Mackenzie schools, please consider picking up the phone tonight, helping us to support the Salvation Army and the Rotary Community Fund.
Spirit of love.
What a sweet performance again by St. Gabriel and Jack Mackenzie Schools. What you're seeing right now is a hamper on your screen. Just one of the hampers that you can see your donations going towards to help out again the Salvation Army and our the Rotary Community Fund. Real quick reminder again, the Rotary charity lines are open and we have some Rotarians ready to take your calls at 306-559-6606. I made a mention of challenging anyone who knows someone from St. Gabriel or Jack Mackenzie. Maybe you recognized yourself on that screen in that choir and you wanted to donate, and you can challenge others to do the same. Again, a beautiful performance. That was from back in 2007. We're going to go a little further back next. The next performance is a very special appearance by the Regina Philharmonic Chorus from 2006. The chorus is under the direction of Mr. Hart Godden. Some of you may know that Hart is also the director of music at Knox Metropolitan United Church, which is normally again the home of the Carol Festival each year. Hart has been a very strong supporter of the Rotary Carol Festival for many years, and I just wanted to say we truly appreciate his assistance. Please take a second, sit back, relax, and enjoy the performance.
Who is the King of Glory?
But here's the deal. We don't want our friends who are sitting by the phones to enjoy those performances. We want them busy on the phones. So if you could give us a call in at the Rotary Charity line at 306-559-6606. They are patiently waiting to take your call, and I promise you they're very friendly and they will chat with you for more than just a couple minutes. Also a friendly reminder that there is a tax receipt we receive for any donation that's made over $25. And while we're talking about it, there have been a few friends that have called in to make donations. So I do want to say thank you to Judy Smith and Lynn Taylor. And we did also have a $50 donation by an anonymous donor. And so to you, I say thank you. And if you don't want to call in, if you prefer going online, you can also do that by going to reginarotary.org. Now, if you are enjoying the Rotary Carol Festival, as I've already mentioned, we really need your help when it comes to raising some money to help our charity partners, the Salvation Army and the Rotary Community Fund. Choirs from Regina churches have been a very important part of the Rotary Carol Festival over the years. Our next performance is Spirit of Truth Seventh-day Adventist Church Choir. Their performance was recorded in 2015. I'm told their brightly colored robes are also a very nice touch. Enjoy.
Prepare
Some beautiful sights and sounds thanks to the Spirit of Truth Seventh-day Adventist Church Choir performing back in 2015. I have to say that one of my favorite parts about Christmas is the nostalgia, the nostalgic feeling you get, and I feel like we're getting that tonight and pretty much throughout the week as we see some older performances throughout the years of the past carol festivals. Our next choir performance is the Luther College Girls Choir. This is a more recent performance, so just from last year, 2019, and I'm told these ladies are also very colorfully dressed. The choir is under the direction of Deborah Nelson, and we wanted to recognize Deborah as a choir director who has appeared many, many times with various choirs over the years at the Rotary Carol Festival. We appreciate Deborah's support of our festival. So, Luther College, now's your time to shine. If you are an alumnus of Luther College, and I know a lot of you out there, or if you are a parent or grandparent of a Luther College student, I also know a few of you, please consider picking up the phones or logging in online, supporting the Rotary Carol Festival. Rotarians sponsor the festival so that every dollar donated during this festival flows through our charity partners. Again, you can call the charity line at 306-559-6606, or you can donate online at reginarotary.org. And again, as I mentioned earlier, all donations over $25 will receive a tax receipt.
Today is
That was a beautiful performance put on by the Luther College Girls Choir from last year, 2019, under the direction of Deborah Nelson. And before we move on to our next piece, I do want to just acknowledge some wonderful people who've been calling in to make a few donations. So thank you to Jim and Joanne Elliott, John Schneider for his $50 contribution, Mike and Darlene Hildebrand, William Colley, a former member of the Philharmonic Chorus, who I'm now wondering was my 4th grade music teacher, Mrs. Burns, possibly, Doug Cuddington, and I need to give a special shout out to a call we received from Angela and Wayne Rosen. They're from Winnipeg, all the way from Winnipeg, joining us tonight. So thank you to you, and that should be a challenge, perhaps, if you are also tuning in from Winnipeg, or if you're in Regina and don't want Winnipeg to outdo you, give us a call. You can call the charity line at 306-559-6606, or again, you can donate at reginarotary.org. Now, it is a tradition at the Rotary Carol Festival to have some special people help us with an appeal to the community. This year, our appealers have been very kind to pre-record their message for us to play each evening. Tonight, our appeal is from someone I consider a friend, Chief Evan Bray from the Regina Police Service. Chief Bray has attended and spoken at our festival for many years, and last year he was honored to be appointed as an honorary Rotarian member of the Rotary Club of Regina. The men and women of the Regina Police Service witness the effects of homelessness and poverty in their everyday policing roles. Please have a listen to Chief Evan Bray.
Hi there. Thanks so much for this opportunity for me to speak to you during this incredible event that we have in our city each and every year. The Rotary Carol Festival is easily one of the highlights of the year, and this year we're celebrating the 80th anniversary. Hard to believe it's been 80 incredible years. And who would have thought 80 years ago, when the first Rotary Carol Festival was happening, that we would be doing this virtually in 2020. This year has been quite the year, and I really take my hat off to the Rotary for all the work they've done to be able to still deliver all of this incredible music and, of course, all of the positive things that come with the Rotary Carol Festival, but do so virtually. And thank you for taking the time to join us. My name is Evan Bray. I'm the Chief of Police for the Regina Police Service, and I really want to take this second to just talk about the incredible work that goes into this. First of all the incredible music. These choirs are absolutely outstanding, and it's a great way to get into the Christmas spirit. Thank you to the Rotary and all the sponsors. So much work goes into this night. And as importantly, thank you. Each and every year, the citizens of Regina make such a tangible difference in the lives of people who are less fortunate, especially at this time of year. I think Christmas is something that many of us take for granted. It's a time to get together with family and enjoy a great meal. There's presents under the tree, but it's not that way for everybody. And that's why the Rotary and the work that they do and the work that you're doing by participating tonight is so absolutely incredible at this time of the year. You can make a difference. The Salvation Army, of course, one of the benefactors of all of the work being done tonight, as is the Regina Rotary Community Fund. And every donation that's made goes directly to help those in our community in need. Things like Christmas dinner isn't a given for everybody, and we know that donations go to put food on the table in those homes, in those people's homes this year that are needy. And this year, I think, is one that hits home for all of us. There's a lot of people that have been affected by this pandemic and this current situation, and put that on top of the already challenging times that people face in our community. Your donation, your gift will absolutely make a difference. In fact, we know that a $100 donation puts breakfast, dinner, and supper on the table in someone's home for Christmas, plus a few other little treats that make it that much more festive. Any donation helps, and we thank you very much for once again this year teaming up with your community, with the Rotary, and making this Christmas a little more special for those less fortunate in our city. Merry Christmas.
We have been involved with the Rotary for numerous years now, and the Rotary has assisted us in helping the people of Regina and the community in many different ways. The Rotary has sponsored meals, holiday meals, just normal everyday Monday to Friday meal. The individual members have volunteered their time. The organization has come down to our location and helped with the serving of meals. And of course, financially, they have supported the work that Souls Harbor Rescue Mission does here in the city. And they've helped us with the day-to-day operations and on our building projects as well. The Rotary has supported us in a variety of ways. We've had individual members donate hams, donate turkeys during the holidays. We've had numerous people come down and donate their time. They have supported us in our new build. We opened a new facility about 1.5 years ago. They were a significant contributor to that. They helped raise capital, specifically $250,000. So that was a major impact for our organization. It really allowed us to create a facility from which we could deliver the services that we do. We could feed, we could shelter, we could clothe the most vulnerable in society, and the Rotary has played a significant role in us doing that. This is going to be a different year. We're used to gathering with family, and we have a hot meal, and we get together and we fellowship one with each other. This year, thanks to COVID, we'll be doing things a little differently. At the mission, we can still provide the Merry Christmas and the best wishes and warm wishes to each guest. We'll serve a hot meal, and the Carol Festival it plays a part into this wonderful time of year. It's a time where we're all blessed, or the majority of our blessed, and if we can share what we have with the less fortunate, then they'll be blessed as well. Souls Harbor Rescue Mission has been here for 30 years. We're actually celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. We had a few special events planned, but again, COVID changed that. We need donations on an ongoing basis. It is the individual person, it's the church, it's the community, it's the wonderful organizations such as Rotary that support us. They're the backbone of what we do. Donations are needed year-round. We have some extra expenses this year with COVID. We have to pay for masks, hand sanitizer, gloves, etc. So any support, any donation put towards that or designated towards that would be greatly appreciated.
All right, well, as I mentioned earlier, Rotarians sponsor the Carol Festival program and cover expenses associated with the festival. Our executive broadcast sponsor is Access Communications Cooperative Limited, which operates Access Now TV, and we want to thank them for their in-kind donation of all of the production costs, as well as the Access phone lines. The generosity of Access and these Rotarians ensures that every dollar raised tonight will go directly to our partner charities. So up next is another choir that has supported our Rotary Carol Festival for many, many years. Reverend John Nelson Jr. directs the First Baptist Sanctuary Choir, and we really appreciate his support over the years. In normal times, the festival is held at Knox Metropolitan United Church, which is right across the street from First Baptist Church. And the choir would practice at their own church on their performance night and then dutifully march across the street in often very cold and windy weather to arrive just in time for their performance. I hope you enjoy it.
Glory
What a beautiful performance. Again, that was the First Baptist Sanctuary Choir, that directed by Reverend John Nelson Jr. Now, before we move on to our next performance, I do want to just say a quick shout out and thank you to some of our friends who've been calling in to support us here. Pauline Aldworth, Heather Brown, and Edna McCall, all giving a call to that charity line. Again, it's 306-559-6606, and we are just standing by waiting to take your call. Now, this next choir has performed a few times over the years at the Rotary Carol Festival, and their performance from 2011 was so impressive, we really had no choice but to put it in the footage for tonight. The group is called The Voice, and they are a choir comprised of just under 20 men of Filipino descent. We are not sure if they're still performing, but we certainly hope they are, and if you are, you can give us a call, 306-559-6606. So members of the Filipino community of Regina as well, if you recognize them, if you just enjoy the music you're about to tune into here, please give us a call, or you can head on over to reginarotary.org to donate. Thank you, and here is The Voice.
Do you hear what I hear? See the night wind to the little lamb. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb. Do you see what I see? Do you see
beautiful performance, again, put on by The Voice. That was their 2011 performance. Again, that was a chorus of just under 20 men of Filipino descent who performed in the community here in Regina. Before we move on, I just wanted to say thank you. We've had some beautiful donations coming in on the charity line, and I just wanted to acknowledge some of them. Caroline and Terry Ferguson, thank you. Amy Collado, thank you. Kelsey Bryans, on behalf of her father, Al. Doreen Fefchuk called in after she saw Chief Evan Bray's appeal. She was inspired by his appeal. She called in to make a donation, and I wanted to acknowledge a very special donation that was called in memory of Jack Bowen. He was the oldest member of the Philharmonic Chorus, which you saw earlier this evening, and he passed away 2 years ago at the age of 100 years old. So thank you to all of you who are calling in, who are logging in online at reginarotary.org. Again, the charity line, if you want to call in, is 306-559-6606. And just a friendly reminder, any donation made over the amount of $25 will receive a tax receipt. This is my favorite part. We're going to talk little children and their performances. It's been so much fun over the years to watch little children at the Rotary Carol Festival. They're always so excited to come and sing for a large audience, which usually has siblings, parents, and often grandparents watching in the church or on TV. And while we are certainly missing that component this year, we wanted to bring you a sense of what it was like. So this next performance is the Wilford Hunt Kindergarten to Grade 4 Choir. This is their performance from 2008. So if my math is correct, these performers are all adults now, so you can call and you can challenge other members that were in the choir with you in this performance. We hope you are watching with your parents and grandparents, and hey, why not? While we're at it, the Wilford Hunt alumni, this is your time to shine. Again, you can call 306-559-6606 or again, reginarotary.org. Either way, any donation helps, and we know many are in need of that this holiday season.
Where did Mary lay her baby boy? Where did Mary lay
that nostalgic feeling again, bringing you back to when you were probably performing in those very stands, or maybe you were watching someone performing in those stands. Now, again, my friends are waiting for those phones to ring. You can call the charity line at 306-559-6606 to make a donation, or again, you can head on over to reginarotary.org. We wanted to take a few minutes to recognize the bell ringers at Knox Metropolitan United Church. These dedicated pros climb the tower each night of the Carol Festival and ring those bells, which can be heard all over downtown Regina. You cannot miss it if you were downtown. We sincerely hope that next year we will be able to be back at the Knox Met and hear those bells ringing. This next video you're about to see is about the bell tower, and it's actually about the Dead Air Gallery, which I was informed is the space between the bell ringers and the bells.
We're in the ringing room of the tower at Knox Metropolitan United Church. The bell tower, as such, has been here since 1912, when it was rebuilt after the tornado that went through on June 30th of that year. The bells came in 1926. When you come to the bell tower, you can go up and you see some of it along the way, and if you're willing to start going into the ladders and be more like a bell ringer, we have our main gallery that's just above us right now. The Dead Air Space Gallery is a collection of, I'd like to call it spiritual or outsider type art, and it represents those special things that artists or collectors of art have that don't necessarily get on display, aren't commercial. It's like the figure study that the landscape painter does. It is the landscape that the abstract expressionist has done. And some of them are very good. Some of them shows, you know, a talent, but whatever society did for that artist, it pushed them in a different way. Well, when I became a master bell ringer, one of the people who brought some very interesting art is artist Mark Sexton. And we like him because he did a self-portrait, which when you open the door to the bell tower, it looks out. And it has an emotional response because when the grade 4s come, the boys always whisper among themselves, Voldemort. And, you know, as he paints, you know, sort of mystically like that. But he did a beautiful portrait of me playing the bells, reaching for the ropes. And I felt it captured a little bit of the spirit of how I felt things. He has the brightness in it that make me feel like the brightness that I reach for, even though I'm kind of a dark guy in the shadows and that. I do like to reach into the bright and the almost psychedelic. And he seems to have caught that in that portrait.
Just like that, I feel like we all learned something new in that 2-minute video. Thank you so much to the bell ringers who took part in doing that video for us. Before we go on to a moment I feel that many are waiting for, I just wanted to acknowledge a few people that have been calling in. Lyle and Cheryl Wilkinson, Barry Ferguson, and a special shout out to my grade 7 teacher, Mr. Tweeton. His wife, Ruth Tweeton, called in to donate and had a little message for me. So thank you again. Can always count on you guys to support us. Again, if you want to give us a call, you can call the Rotary Charity line at 306-559-6606, or again, head on over online to reginarotary.org. Our friends are standing by to hear your voices, though, if you want to give us a call. Now, this is a moment I feel like many may have been waiting for, so I'm going to give you a second to settle in. This is something really special. World-class entertainer Rory Allen is renowned for his captivating tribute to Elvis. His incredible show, authentic vocals, and stunning costumes have been well received by the most faithful Elvis fans and friends. Rory has performed with Regina Symphony Orchestra, Danny and the Juniors, and Elvis Presley's Imperials Quartet. Rory has also been privileged to sing and record on several occasions with Grammy Award-winning quartet, the legendary Jordanaires from Nashville, Tennessee. Rory's last performances with the Jordanaires were 2 evenings of inspirational and gospel music that resulted in a live concert CD, In My Father's House, which was nominated for a Western Canadian Music Award for Outstanding Christian Recording. Recognized for their numerous charitable and fundraising activities, Rory and his wife, Lori, were awarded Saskatchewan Centennial Medals, named Citizens of the Year by CTV Regina, and presented Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee Medals. Whew! How many can compare to that one? We are so pleased that Rory agreed to volunteer some of his time and talent to help us raise money for the Carol Festival. If you are a Rory fan, and who isn't really, let's be honest, call the charity line at 306-559-6606, or again, you can head online at reginarotary.org to donate. As I have mentioned, donations over $25 will receive a tax receipt. And without any further delay, please enjoy Rory Allen, Tribute to a King.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Oh, where those trees tops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Here comes the fun part. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. May your days be merry and may all your Christmases be Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job while you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire, to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Here we go. Shall we walk in my neighborhood, East Regina? That felt better. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job while you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire. Face unafraid, the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. I should have walked in a winter wonderland. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue Christmas. You know, everyone, I don't really want anything fancy for Christmas. All I want is you to get on the phone and to get online and donate to the Rotary Clubs of Regina. You need the cash, you're going to help a lot of people, so thank you for being part. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue Christmas.
What an amazing performance. Thank you so much to Rory Allen for taking the time to record that performance for us. And you heard him. We need your help. You can give us a call. We have our friends standing by to answer those calls on the Charity line at 306-559-6606. Now, as many of you Rory Allen fans probably were aware, he had some performance dates set at Danceland in Manitou Beach. However, of course, due to the pandemic that we're seeing affect many things throughout the country and the world, those dates have been canceled. So I would highly recommend you keep your eyes and ears peeled for when those dates will be rescheduled. Again, those were some shows on Saturday, December 5th at Danceland in Manitou Beach. Now, if you did enjoy hearing from Rory perform today, why not consider making a donation to the Rotary Carol Festival? Rotarians sponsor the festival expenses. Again, something I'd really like to emphasize. So every dollar that is being raised during this festival will go directly to our charity partners. Again, that's the Salvation Army and the Rotary Community Fund. And if you don't want to call the line, you can just go online at reginarotary.org. We're going to move on to another performance going back a little ways to 2009. This is a group performance, and it's from Tom Collegiate Concert Choir. The director is Sarah Keefe, and Sarah has been very active both performing in choirs and directing choirs at the festival for many years, so we want to thank Sarah for all of her support. And I'm told this group looks great in their bright white ties. Take a look.
Mary, did you know that your baby
great performance this evening. That was the Tom Collegiate Concert Choir from 2009 under the direction of Sarah Keefe. Now, I have mentioned a few times this evening that Rotarians sponsor the Carol Festival program and cover expenses associated with the festival. Our executive broadcast sponsor is Access Communication Cooperative Limited, which operates Access Now TV, and we would love to thank them for their in-kind donation of all of the production costs as well as the Access phone lines. The generosity of Access and these Rotarians ensures that every dollar raised tonight goes directly to our partner charities. Now, the next performance is from a men's choir, and they have been performing for many years right here in Regina. It's the Living Skies Chorus, and they sing in the barbershop harmony style, my kind of style. I understand the fellows also know how to dress up and look fine, and you're going to see and hear all that beauty right now. Here's their performance from 2016, the Living Skies Chorus.
The Virgin Mary had a baby boy. The Virgin Mary had a baby boy. The Virgin Mary had a baby boy, and they gave him the name of Jesus. He come from the glory. He come from the glorious kingdom. He come from the glory. He come from the glorious kingdom. Oh, yes, believer. Oh, yes, believer. He come from the glory. He come from the glorious kingdom. Well, the angels sang when the baby was born. The angels sang when the baby was born. The angels sang when the baby was born, and proclaimed him the Savior, Jesus. He come from the glory. He come from the glorious kingdom. He come from the glory. He come from the glorious kingdom. Oh, yes, believer. Oh, yes, believer. He come from the glory. He come from the glorious kingdom. Yes, the wise men saw where the baby was born. The wise men saw where the baby was born. The wise men saw where the baby was born, and they said that his name was Jesus. The Virgin Mary had a baby born. The Virgin Mary had a baby born. The Virgin Mary had a baby born, and they gave him the name of Jesus. He come from the glory.
The Santa Shuffle is a 5K run or a 1K elf walk if you're not a runner. So this year the Santa Shuffle is going virtual, and our national headquarters are doing the bulk of the coordination of it. So things are going to look a little different this year. Rather than one set run day, it'll be over a week, December 5th to 12th, across the nation at the same time. And we're hoping that people will still want to participate. It's still a great opportunity to come together with friends within your bubble and to have some fun and to raise some money for the Salvation Army at the same time. People can register to participate in the race, and then they can collect pledges either online or on paper, whatever works best for them. All of the information is available on the Santa Shuffle website, which is santashuffle.ca, and it'll give them all the information they need for registration, for the prizes that will be happening nationally this year, and for how to go about collecting pledges. This year, we're not sure what Christmas is going to bring from a fundraising standpoint. We depend a lot on the monies that come into our kettles and to the funds that come in through the Santa Shuffle each year. And so we're anticipating that those donations may be down this year. So we're just pleading with people to get involved and participate and be a part of making a difference in the lives of those in our community that the Salvation Army supports.
And that's just a glimpse of where your donations can go to help. Again, if you do want to help, you can call the Rotary Charity line right now. We have some friends waiting. Bevy, Bob, and Deb, all waiting to talk to you. 306-559-6606 is the number to call. Or again, head online at reginarotary.org to make your donations. Now, 25 adults, all decked out in traditional German outfits. It has to be Regina Volksliederchor Harmony. The choir can say, I was focused so hard on how to say that, I ended the sentence before it should have ended. Anyways, the choir consists of people of German descent or people who just like to sing in the German language. I admire this group for sure. They have been perpetual performers at the Carol Festival for many years, and this is their performance from 2018. Here is Regina Volksliederchor Harmony. Once again, that was the Regina Volks Leader Corps Harmony performing from 2018. We are going to move on in just a minute, but first I want to take a second to say some thank yous to Belva Perkin, Patricia Turner, Mildred Patron, Bruno and Marge Weiss, and we also had an anonymous donation of $100, which is exactly what one of those hampers that you saw earlier in the show would cost, and that hamper pretty much is filled with all the goodies that a family could need and want over the holidays, and that's $100 for a hamper. So all of your donations help, no matter big or small. Again, any donation over the amount of $25 would get a tax receipt. So you can call us now, Rotary Charity Line 306-559-6606, or go on the web at reginarotary.org to make a donation. Now, the Carol Festival has many traditions, but one is that we close each evening of the festival by singing Silent Night. Personally, I enjoy this moment. We always have the audience at Knox Met join in, and sadly, we of course don't have an audience here, so I can't invite you to sing with me right now in studio. However, I would like to invite you in your homes to join in as the Regina Volks Leader Corps Harmony lead us in Silent Night along with the audience from the 2018 performance. By the way, as I've mentioned, it's not too late. Now, I just am trying to encourage everyone who may have been tuned in to last night when Heather Anderson, a friend of mine, was emceeing the event. I want to challenge anyone. We need to beat that amount, and we want to get, say, $4,000 tonight. Let's go with that. I'm challenging all of you to give a donation by phone call, if you want to mail in a check, you can mail in a check, or head online at reginarotary.org to donate. For now, though, enjoy this performance. And just like that, the second evening of the 80th Rotary Carol Festival has come to an end. On behalf of the Rotary Clubs of Regina, I would like to thank our executive broadcast sponsor, Access Communications Cooperative Limited, and Access Now TV for helping us to bring you the 80th Rotary Carol Festival. It has been my pleasure joining you this evening and taking a look back at all of these performances, and of course, so nice to hear from Winsome Kind and, of course, Rory Allen. We thank them so much for their contributions. It's been a very tough year, some tougher than others, but I hope tonight the spirit of the holidays has filled your home with just a little bit of light and joy, and you can take that further by donating. The Rotary Charity Line is still open for a few more moments at 306-559-6606. As I mentioned, this is the second of 4 evenings that you can tune in to the Rotary Carol Festival. We will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. and on Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining us this evening and helping the Rotary Clubs of Regina to support our community this Christmas. Merry Christmas and good night.